Hi, it's Mon Tactical here. I'm going to show you how to build a video surveillance system for your home for under $500. For this, you'll pretty much need a drill and a ladder, and that's really about it. The main things to consider on this is where you're going to mount your cameras and where you're going to place your DVR. For my system, I wanted an 8-channel system. The channels simply means camera, so I wanted to do 8 cameras, so I had options. Really, I pretty much only need 4 perimeter cameras, but it's nice to have the luxury knowing you can upgrade at any time. I'll go over the components of the system here shortly, but there's basically 4 components that you need. And once you have those 4 things in place, you can upgrade any one of them at any time. So here's a schematic of what the wiring is going to look like. You pretty much have your cameras. This is demonstrating a 4-camera system, and you're running the BNC cable to that, which we'll go over in a second. Other than that, you're hooking the DVR into the router if you want internet access or an app to be able to view your cameras, as well as plugging it into the wall. The other power supply indicated there is to bring power to those 4 cameras. The cameras should be the first purchase you make, and they should be the first thing you install, because whether they're active or not, they're still a deterrent. You can get them on eBay for between $15 and $40 depending on the camera and the quality of it. Just make sure when you buy them or when you search for them that you order wide angle cameras. You definitely want the wide angle. You'll regret it if you don't. The wiring is called BNC cable. It's basically 2 wires in a bundle. One of them carries the power and the other carries the video signal to the camera. This is what it looks like here. The yellow is the video, obviously, and the black is your power source. The black will plug into an octopus at the DVR, and the yellow will plug into the DVR and carry the signal to the camera. You can order these also off eBay in bundles of 4 or more. Measure out how many feet you need, because they come in 50-foot and 100-foot lengths. So you can get 4 100-foot sections for about $30. This is the power splitter, or as I referred to it earlier, the octopus. This is the ends that will plug into the wire that carries to the camera, and here's the end that plugs into the wall. This is what runs the power, or splits the power off to all your cameras. So if you're going to have 4 cameras, you'll need a 4-way splitter, 8 cameras, 8-way splitter, so on and so forth. You can get these on eBay, as you see here, for $20, give or take. Here's an example of BNC wire plugging into it, so the other end of that wire runs off to a camera somewhere. This yellow end here would plug into the DVR. I mounted my cameras right to the side of the house and ran the wiring up through the eaves, and then gathered it up in the attic and ran it to where I needed to run it from the attic. So all my work was done predominantly in the attic itself. One of the things to consider is the placement of your cameras. You want them to be able to get good night vision, as you can see here, as well as if they're up high, how you're going to access them. This wall here, these cameras are 20 feet up, so I had to rappel off the house to be able to mount them. So take your time when planning this, figure out where you want your cameras to face and where you want to mount them, and then where you're going to run your wiring. Here's the attic access from the garage. I went up in there and gathered my wiring and found a main support wall that I wanted to drop the wiring through to get access to the basement where the DVR was going to be placed. So here's the wiring running out to all those cameras from the attic, and as we walk over here, you can see there's a pipe that goes down through a main wall to the basement. It's a vent pipe for the plumbing, and that was a perfect opportunity for me to drop my wiring down and be able to reach through the basement to get it. As you can see right here. This is the driveway camera. You can see where the wires come up from the eave and connect to the red and yellow wires of the BNC that I run down to the location we just looked at. That drops down through this main wall of the home, all the way down from the attic, down through the main floor and into the basement. And here's where it comes through the basement, and I've run it over, across the floor joist, dropped it down the ducting behind where I placed my monitor. And I just used a simple little cheap TV that I found for $5 at a garage sale and used as my main monitor for the DVR. The DVR will be the most expensive thing you buy, but you can get by with the cheap version that you can pick up off eBay. Here's an 8-channel one, very similar to what I picked up. To set them up, you plug the power supplies into the power splitter I showed you earlier and plug that into the wall, and then you just plug your yellow end into the corresponding channel on the DVR that you want each camera to be. And that's really about it. And then you're running hot at that point, and you can set up all the little settings in the menus for remote access via the internet or a phone app if you'd like. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching and stay safe.